Hi guys. Let's see. You are always first. Let me turn this down. Hey, Highway Freak. It has been a long time, huh? I was trying something, but I don't know if it's gonna work. How have you guys been? Oh, you're over in Seattle. Recap? What the heck? I thought you retired. I am supporting Trucker Gang Colors. Would this be for Irish? That's where I'm going. I am doing well. You guys, I was trying to go on my other phone to read comments from this phone. But wow. I tell you what, I think I'm a little lost right now with YouTube Live because I seem to be mucking up. But anyway, yeah, I'm doing well. I'm in Wisconsin getting unloaded, and then I pick up another load right in the same city, and I head down to Atlanta. But I've been running and running. Is it the okay? That's what it is. It's the undercover federal agent color of the day. Hey Taco, how are you? Yeah, you guys, things have been really good. It's such a difference not running under a mega carrier. And I don't know why. Hey Gorilla, good. How are you? It's been a long time. I don't know why people would go out, run the boards, and then return to a mega carrier. Dixie, I'm in Wisconsin. Over by Kenosha. And then I'm going to head down to Georgia from here. And then do a quick turnaround, go home. And then I'm a road tripping to Mexico. Oh, let me read that. Oh, shoot. Guys, I forgot how to get to comments. How do I get to comments? Lord, I don't know how to get to comments again. Here we go. Here we go. Okay. So, Devin, you're getting ready to move on from Prime? Good for you. I'm working my way up the comments, you guys. Jake's doing well. He's a little something must have freaked him out. He's a little he's not acting himself. So I don't know if something fell on him. I don't know, but he's pretty freaked out and stares at the back all the time while I'm driving. So it's just strange. So you're heading up to Indy, then back to Florida. I was running like Florida, Mississippi, Alabama. I was enjoying the weather. I am telling you that. Let's see, Jesse. I want you to know that I've been watching you since you started with Prime. You've been an inspiration to so many. My wife and I paid off our truck this week with JC. Congratulations! That is such a good feeling. No more truck payment. No, he did not eat the plant-based steak. Maybe the benefits? Yeah. Maybe. Hey, Ricky. It has been a long time. You know, Dixie, I can't cold any longer either, which is why I bought a place in Mexico. So I plan to take next January and February off and live down there. Up until then, I'm probably going to go every 6 weeks. I'm going next week, then again for sure in April, and then we'll see what happens from there. But yeah, I know. I'm tired of the cold. I'm too old. I've done it. You know what? I'm not this big tough northerner. I don't pretend to be. I don't care. I like the sunshine, warm weather. It's just, I'm a freeze baby. I'll say it because it's just the way it is. Mark, where have you been? I've missed you so much. Please tell us about everything going on in your life. You're very special to us truckers. Well, there's a lot to cover if you want to know everything on my life. Let's see. I have 2 grandchildren now, 1 boy, 1 girl. I love nicknames. So I have an MJ and a DJ, and they're just the most adorable kids ever, as every child is. I think you guys are aware that my mom passed away last February, so Valentine's Day has changed a little bit for me because that's the day she passed. But I have processed the grief, and you know, she's up there with my dad, and I am okay. Like, I'm not, you know, breaking down in hysterical tears now when I talk about it. I've processed my grief, so that is healthy. It's when you suppress your emotions that there's problems. What else? I was buying truck number 2, so not a replacement, but an addition. And several times I thought I had one, but people don't honor their words anymore about, you put a deposit down and then, oh, we'll hold the truck. And it wasn't like unreasonable time frames that they were holding the truck. And every time, you know, I made the phone call to confirm that I was coming, they're like, oh, a guy showed up with all of the money. Well, you didn't even give me an opportunity. What, did you think I was going to come with half the money? That's how you buy a truck. You pay it. I don't know. So then I got super frustrated. And so then I'm just like, you know what? Because I was getting my hopes up a lot. And then I was like, okay, not that one. Not that one. Not that one again. So now I'm just sort of waiting. I just don't have it in me now to look and be excited again about it right now. So maybe March, April time frame. I wanted it already so that the one I'm in now I could get it off the road and like really get it ready for produce season. I would hop back in it, put a different driver in truck 2, something like that. So, but it didn't work. Hey, Trucker's Life, how are you? Good morning. Well, Henry, I just celebrated my birthday in January, so I'm now 52, and Jake is 5. Our birthdays are the same week, so we celebrated. He had a cute little hat, a birthday hat, and a treat, and it was cute. It was very cute. So he's now 5. Can you believe it? My gosh. Waterloo, Iowa. That's a very special place. Oh, you have 2 grandchildren too? They're so special. I'm telling you what. I can't wait till they're both a little older, and you know, I can take them up to the campground and we can, you know, get them on the boat and teach them about, you know, safety around water. And I'm not a fisherman, or I don't know how to fish. But yeah, just be able to spend some quality time with them. That would be awesome. You'll be 51 February. Oh, you turned 51 February 8th. Well, that was so recent. So happy belated birthday. Did you do anything special? Oh, come on, Dixie. How old can you really be if you want to give it up? yeah, I'm telling you what, in the winter, I don't like coming up north. Two times ago, whenever that date was, it was like minus 30 in Minnesota, and now I live closer to St. Cloud. And I was home maybe 4 days, and I was parked at a place that I couldn't plug my truck in, but I had put in the anti-gel. I had done all the preparations, right? It took us all day to get my truck started. We were almost at the point where we were going to go rent kerosene heaters, but we just kept trying and trying and trying, you know, put in 911, and we got it started. And then of course, you know, it takes a good hour for your coolant temps to rise and to thaw out a little bit. And then it was 3 days later, and I was incredibly sick. And I was sick for 12, 13 days. I ended up going into the ER when I was in Louisiana, because I had such problems breathing. Like, I was really sick, and they did a COVID, and it wasn't that, but they gave me the usual steroid inhaler, Z-Pack. But I don't remember taking that much time off while I'm on the road. But, you know, people make it sound so easy. They're like, well, just go to the doctor, just go to the ER. Well, not that it was expensive where I couldn't afford it, but it's a pain in the ass to get an Uber from a truck stop, go to the hospital, and this hospital did not have a pharmacy. So then I had to take another Uber over to Walgreens. Then there was no promise to how long or quickly I could get my prescriptions. So that guy left. I had to wait for another Uber to come and get me and then drop me back off at the truck stop. It was insane. So, you know, that night, I still didn't get I have health insurance, but I'm assuming because it was out of network that I'll get a bill of some kind. I have not received a bill from the ER yet. So, but with the prescriptions and my Uber, that in itself was around $300. So again, it's you know, you have to take care of your wellness, or you're going to be forced to take care of your illness, right? You've heard that before, right? So I did what I had to do. And then it was just a matter of like 2 days, and I was feeling much better. I mean, I was at a point where I lost my voice too. So I was like, you know, and that's when you're really trying to push out so people can hear you. That was exhausting, truly exhausting. Yeah, average bear. I mean, it happens when you're out here. I just hate being sick. I hate being sick in general, but I really hate being sick on the road. Thankfully, I did not have Jake with me, because all I did was sleep, and I did not have the energy to do anything. So I'm almost glad he wasn't with me at that time, because then I would have been forced to get him up, exercise him. I don't know. I think it would have been a little worse for me, but 59. Really, Henry? How are you? 70 in Nevada. Oh. It was 72 when I left. Where was I in Texas? I was just there a few days ago. Oh, like Terrell, Texas. Hey, Shannon, how are you? So it was like 72, and I had a pair of shorts on, and drove to Arkansas, shut down, wore another pair of shorts because it was still like 67. I keep looking over there because I see these lumpers, and so I keep thinking they're coming up to my window. But I am moving now, which is good, because I was worried they were not going to start unloading me. They were down 6 guys in their lumpers. But so I drove from Arkansas up to Ohio, and I got out of the truck, and it was 32 degrees, and I went, are you flipping kidding me? Just got home. Oh my gosh, where in Minnesota? Like, who? Why would you come to Minnesota? It's so cold. So cold. Is Recap still in here? Recap, I thought you were retiring and getting out of the truck. I was anxious to hear what you're doing next. 28 New Mexico? Ooh. Baldwin, Wisconsin. Yeah, I talked to Chris this morning and it was -6. You know, and I'm just one state over and it was 16 degrees. So it's still cold in Wisconsin, but yeah, Minnesota's got, I mean, some crappy kind of weather. I can't wait to be in Mexico next week. I looked at the temps and they're going to be like mid-80s, so that's okay with me. But we're taking Jake across the border with us, so I'm completely excited about that. It's his first international trip. When did you send it, Tango? I will admit, I did miss quite a few, like, urgent messages on Instagram because they go into, like, if I'm not friends with them or something, it goes into, like, a requested inbox, and I don't check that one all the time. And a lot of times when I do, it's like, pay for followers, and I'm like, ugh. So I don't even delete them. I just leave them in there. But I missed out on a paid branding gig for Pilot Flying J. I missed out on a talk show. I mean, I missed out on some stuff. All because I wasn't checking that box. So, Tango, when did you send that? Or are you under a different person? Really? Do you go by Tango over there? I wonder where it is over there. I'm gonna have to look. You like the biker look? I'm getting ready for spring. I was just thinking about riding my bike the other day. I'm like, am I going to remember how to ride it? Probably not. I'm probably going to have to, put it into neutral and just do it completely off and just do the walking with my legs and go around the block once while I'm walking it. And then, baby steps. But it's so damn cute. It's so damn cute. Oh, there you go. So those of you that don't know, that is pronounced Shakopee. Cape Canaveral, I hope you have some good weather. I hope you have some good weather. I have 9 kids and 18 grandkids, and I got my CDL in 2019 at my authority. Holy smokes, good for you. That is awesome. I still don't have my own authority. I'm running under another authority. And trust me, I've cheated back and forth. Like, do I get my own? Do I not get my own? Do I get my own? Do I not? And every day I change my mind. Seriously. I still don't know what I'm going to do. For now, I'm running underneath another guy. So, it's okay. You guys, there's a bad, where is that stream of sunlight coming from that's annoying? Maybe that'll help. I feel like I'm in a tent now. Oh, I thought I answered that. Did I not answer that? Maybe somebody else asked me that too. You sure you didn't send me an email? I've answered that twice, in the last 3 weeks. But I went to Load Brokers out of Phoenix, Arizona. The guy that I had, he said it was his last class that he was teaching, and he had been doing it from the very first establishment of the school. So I think he's out of it. I don't know who's teaching now, but he had so much knowledge. You know what I mean? You just can't get a brain dump from somebody like that has just been in the business so long. His brother was a driver, and then the brokerage, and so I don't know who's training it now, but it was very beneficial for me. Now, do I believe in these $59 courses, or $199 for a 3-day class online. I don't know. I mean, I don't know what the curriculum looks like, but I had like immersion. Like, we actually worked in that brokerage. We took live calls, we made calls, we posted loads. So it was really, really good. I mean, my it had a 3-ring binders, but it's like the 3-inch 3-ring binder. And then I think there was 2 other books that we got. Yeah, it was like, I mean, it's a lot of curriculum. The one I attended, I really, really liked. I thought it was well worth the money. You'll at least double your income if you get your own authority. Double it? See, I pay the guy 25%. So, if I take on my own full insurance, I figure I may gain 15%. You're power only? But do you... See, I've never done power only. I use his trailer. And I don't pay an extra trailer fee in addition to the 25%. It's just 25%. And I book all my own loads. I negotiate all my own loads. They use a factoring company, so that 25% includes the 3% factoring. Let's see what else. I pay for, all my own fuel, yada, yada, yada. The other day, my fan belt went out. So I'm talking to Chris on the phone, and all of a sudden I see my check engine light blinking, right, on my dash. And I'm like, what the heck? Why is my check engine light on? I mean, literally, I just done, topped off the fluids and all of that, right? And then my coolant's at 240, and I was like, oh, shit. And then the coolant red light came on. So I pulled over, and it was, unfortunately, where I pulled over was just beyond the rest area, because I couldn't get over in time to pull into the rest area. So it ended up being, I popped the hood, and when I got out of the truck, on the driver's side, there was coolant spilled on my step, and I was like, oh, God. And then I opened the hood, and there was coolant everywhere. And I was like, oh, Lord, what is going on? What is going on? And then I started inspecting further, and my fan belt had broken. And it was all twisted up into everything. It was twisted around the inside of my driver's side steer. Like, it was everywhere. So what had happened was I contacted the guy that I leased onto, and I said, and I had a belt in the side bag, right? And I said, normally the fan belt itself, depending, won't cause you to go into that high temperature. However, in this truck, and I don't know if it's true for all of them, it actually runs the pulley system, and so the water pump is also associated with that. And so when the guy came out to replace the belt, which I had, because I can't get those damn things on, he noticed that the slack adjuster was turned down, right? And he's like, you may have a bearing that went out. He's like, and he's shaking it, not shaking it, but gripping it to see if it's moving a lot. And he goes, well, it's pretty solid. And he said, so maybe when we get the belt on and we tighten it back up, that it'll level itself out because it was tipped down. And so he got the belt on. He's like, no. And then he took the slack adjuster off, or the pulley things, or whatever they're called. And the inside was tilted down. So in fact, there was damage to that. So the Peterbilt dealership was 50 miles away. So, and I mean, it is what it is, right? So he had a service call to me on the side of the road. Then it was $150 service fee just to run and get the parts. Then the parts were around $450 because he got me an extra belt. I don't know what the actual part is, if it's the pulley system, the slack adjuster. I have the part, but and then the labor to put it all. So it was like around $1,000, and I was, back on the road for 5 hours, or in 5 hours. But that kind of sucked. But that's it's all part of the trucking life. I mean, I think about if I drove my car as hard as I drive this truck, the cars would be shot. They just can't take the wear and tear. $8,000 gross a week. Yeah, I'm anywhere between 8 and 13. Yeah, I do have an extra belt with me. I had the belt, I just couldn't get it on. Is DAT the only one that lists power only? I guess on my load boards that I use Truck Stop. I use Trucker Path. I use Keep It Truckin'. And then I'll use like the, like if you run a load for Coyote, you get their load board. If you run one for TQL, you can get on their load board, and JB Hunt. So then I'll check out these other ones too. And I guess I've never seen or noticed that there's an option for power only. I have heard though, and maybe you can speak to this, that there are people that aren't with the A fleet at Prime, which means that you're signed up to actually pull theirs all the time. But if you pull a mega carrier's trailer, right? So say it was power only and I got a load and I went to Prime and it picked up their trailer. Well, when it's empty, if I want to go and if I select another load, then I have to go and drop that empty off where they want that empty dropped off. Or if they want me to, or if I take the next load through them, right? Like I am really under their direction because I have their trailer. So I hear that it's, once you have it, it's really hard to get rid of it. Does that make sense? Is it true? I've never done it, so I don't know. You got Dedicated Flathead out of Charlotte. That's awesome. So Shannon, are you still running? Are you leased onto somebody? Oh, is that what it's called? A tensioner? Where is it? Here it is. This thing. This is what I had to have replaced. So I said, do I need that part? And he goes, well, sometimes the companies like it. They want you to bring it back. And I go, I am the company. Oh, Lord. Oh, it happens. The breakdowns happen, right? But I wish. Okay, so here's the thing. So he gets the belt on, and the belt, he's like, because it was tilted, this thing, because this was tilted, it wouldn't keep the belt on, right? So he's like, it could be a mile down the road, it could be 10 miles down the road, but your belt's going to slip right back off and likely break and blah, blah, blah. So that's when he figured out what the problem was. Hey, Boot Heel, how are you? Oh, you have your own authority, Shannon. 20%, you said. I got offered 12% from this other company in Minnesota, but you pay a trailer fee. So I don't know, what that ends up working out to be as far as a total percentage. But right now mine's sort of all inclusive at 25. Well, it didn't look easy to change. The guy had to run back and get a different tool because he's like, normally there's a square thing and you can remove this thing, and he didn't have the tool to remove this thing to get the belt on. So like he had to drive back to his shop to get this 4-foot long, it looked like a, oh my God, you guys, why are these words escaping me? When you go to change a tire, you got that bar. What the hell is it called? Jack and Jill? I don't know. I can't remember. Okay, so it's the tensioner pulley. Okay, so there you go. Hey, Metal Music. How are you? I tell you what, so you guys, I don't know if you remember, but I had a washout a couple years ago, and I don't know, it's so hard finding workers, right? But there's a full-on truck wash for sale, like full-on. I'm so tempted. But then again, like, who is going to work it? Who's going to work it? I called my bank the other day, and they said on their pre-recorded message when you hold, we're experiencing, I'm paraphrasing, we're experiencing longer than anticipated wait times due to the national labor shortage as a result of COVID. Is it a result of COVID, or is it just a result of people not going back to work? I mean, there's so many factors. I don't want to get all political and all that, but I'm so sick of, I don't know where, did all these people just leave and open up their own businesses, and then they bought vans and they're traveling around and they're sleeping in these deserts with the most beautiful scenery? Like, I'm really thinking I did life wrong. Ratchet bar with a Shocky adapter to remove it. Okay. Breaker bar. See, I don't know that I've even heard those terms. Breaker bar. Tire iron. That's the word I know. Maybe it's regional or state specific or something like that. Yes, tensioner keeps the belt on. I did know that, which is why we were experiencing problems, because it was at a tilt. So, let's see. Any other life updates? Oh, I don't know if any of you were planning on attending the trucker event in the Bahamas. But it was slated for February 13th. And I had booked an Airbnb, and there was a couple other female truckers that were going and staying in the Airbnb with me. And less than a month before the event, I got a text message that it was canceled because of COVID. So I called my Airbnb in the Bahamas and I said, hey, I understand that you have a spike in COVID. I just had an event that was canceled there, so I'd like to cancel my Airbnb since I will not be attending the event. And they said, no, we're now coexisting with COVID, so there's no special, they're not doing that anymore. So I don't know why the event was canceled. I'm being told COVID. I don't know, but that's what it is. I do know an update. Who's going to Matt's? I'm going to be at Matt's. Now, it's my first truck show, so go easy. I know it's like, people are like, I hate that one, or that one sucks, or I don't know. Like trucking in Michigan does 80-20 all-inclusive. Don't pay anything when you go home. Yeah, and my truck's paid off, so that's like, I love not having a payment. Yeah, I mean, the Bahamas isn't, I mean, it's easy for you, of course, to fly to, right, Shannon? Right there. I mean, I don't know how long it takes you to fly in your plane, but it's so close. It's not like one of my favorite destinations, you know, like, especially if you go into like Nassau, right? There's, I don't know, I don't think there's a huge amount of things to do. Like, I get bored very quickly. If there's nothing to explore, I don't know. So, yeah, so I mean, I could get paid after every load. I just don't want the hassle of it. So, typically at, you know, like the $5,000 revenue to me, not to the truck. Usually at that tick mark, that's where I'll request. So that could be 2 days, that could be 4 days. It just depends on the week. But that's where I typically say, hey, let's pony up, right? But anyway, did I miss it? Is anybody going to Matt's? Hey, Attitude, how are you? I have a trucker friend who used to do aviation mechanics maintenance. I don't know if they're the same. And he's currently a trucker, and he's not really enjoying trucking anymore. So I don't know if he wants to go back to that or something technology-wise. But, yeah. Cutlass depends on winds and the ATC. Oh, it only takes 30 to 40 minutes? Wow, that's pretty cool. I only have 3 hours in, you guys, because I just, you know, life got busy with the truck. And my brother, who had always also wanted to become a pilot, and he retired, and then he went back to work as head of security at a hospital. I don't know, he's some director, VP or something. And he just finished ground school, and he just took his first flight to Florida. One of his buddies owns his own plane, and so they flew out from Wisconsin to Florida because the guy is building a hangar down there. So my brother, you know, said, yeah, I'll go down and help. So I'm like, I'm so proud of my brother. That is something he's always wanted to do. And at the age of 62, he's making that happen. So I'm so happy for him. I'm jealous because I should have had mine, but whatever. I'll get it. Oh, wow. So the, now it just is, oh my gosh, now it just escaped me. What's the name of it? Hang on, let me, I don't want to tell you wrong now. Let me get it right. The broker class that I went to. What? Did I not type that in right? That's weird. Okay, let me see. I want to get it right. I want to get it right. Okay, yeah, I did say that was right. Okay, so it's Freight broker training, load training. Let me see their website. Yeah, it's actually in Youngtown. It's this place. It's actually in Youngtown, Arizona, which is literally, I think it's 4 blocks long by 4 blocks wide. It's the strangest thing how they call that a town, but it's by Phoenix. And I did the private training that was sort of during the beginning of COVID. So the private training was for the week was $4,000. But they do have other options, like they show, I'm on their website now, so they show Atlanta, Orlando, Chicago, Dallas, Philadelphia. But their brokerage is actually in Phoenix, so that's where I chose to go. Hey, Black Henna, how are you? West Palm Beach. Everybody's in good weather. I'm not. I'm in Wisconsin. Where's Marsh Harbor? That is not familiar to me. Is that also in the Bahamas? So the one thing I'm sad about with the event being canceled, other than the last minute notice by text message, and the fact that, oh, let me get back to that. So they wouldn't let me cancel. And I said, okay, cancel for a refund. And they said, do you want to postpone? And I said, okay. And they're like, okay, we'll give you a voucher. You can use it for a year. First they said 18 months and then they said a year. And so I said, okay. And then he's like, so I'll send you an invoice. And I said, wait, what? An invoice for what? I'm already paid $1,800. I'm paid in full. And he goes, yeah, but there's a 16% rebooking fee. I'm like, yeah, but I'm not rebooking yet. Well, but that's how you get the voucher. And I said, oh, so I'm paying for the voucher. If people ran their businesses better, yeah. I don't know how you cancel an event in less than 30 days away when it's an international event and then you tell people by text message. Bogus. Bogus. I am a broker, Shannon. I don't have a brokerage open. So right now I act as my own dispatcher, if you will. I don't sign the rate cons because I'm not a representative for the company that I'm leased onto, so those still go to them to sign, but I negotiate everything. I like it. I like it a lot. Well, even, Michael, even when I'm talking to the brokers, and especially, a lot of the times it's not the brokers, it's an agent who works under a broker, right? Maybe went to a one-day class or whatever. And I like it when they're like, I'm like, well, I can't do it for that rate, I can do it for this. And then it doesn't matter how much the load is. The load could be $8,000, and I'm like, oh, I only got, $50 more into this load. Bullshit. On an $8,000 load, you don't have just $50 into it. And then that's when I say, oh, I'm a certified broker too. So, can we talk about increasing the load? I'll wait. It usually works every time. That's why I did a TikTok and I said, you can get a higher rate merely by saying, whether it's true or not, that you're broker certified. If you go to load training, you're also considered a master certified broker. You have the ability to use that particular logo or icon. I can't remember what it is, but it's copyrighted. And you can put that on any of your websites or your marketing materials, because it's the only school in the nation that can claim that you will be master certified. So with that, you can become a broker, open up a brokerage. You can become an agent. You can actually work for that brokerage if you want. You can be a load finder. So I was doing that for a while, and it got to be a lot, you know, with being on the road, and it's to be really, really organized. It's a lot. Any strategy? Wait. Where's this question? Hey, Bencino, I'm sorry if I got that wrong. Will do, Black Hannah. Okay, so let's see. 10 count. Any strategy when asking for more money from a broker? Ask for 20% more. So I usually ask for double the increase that I'm willing to settle on, right? So if I really, so say the load is like 2,400 posted, and I really want the load for $3,000. I've already moved the needle 600, so on my initial thing, I will ask for a 1,200 increase. So I'll come in at 36. I'm like, can you do it for 36? Now sometimes they'll say, well, I can meet you halfway. That's such a poor strategy. So don't ever do that on your end either. Or they'll be like, oh, I only have 50 more bucks. No, you don't. So, and the other strategy that I have is typically Sundays are the highest, the best day to get the highest rate, because people want that freight moved out on Sunday. So if you can make the deal on Sunday for a load that leaves on Sunday, you're going to make good money. Also, I wouldn't book too far in advance, because, so say you're looking at a load, what's today? Saturday? Say you're trying to book out your week, so you're looking at a load Wednesday. If the load is posted for 2,400 bucks, they're not going to probably move. They're probably not going to give you more, because they have 5 more days to find somebody that will take that load for 24. So the closer you can get to, or on the day when you're empty and need to move freight, the better chance you have of getting a better rate, because they haven't assigned that load to any truck. Also, I don't know if you ever post your trucks or where you are and they call you. When they call you, they're in a shitty situation. So you kind of have the upper hand. You can ask for the rate you want. And, you know, if it's not outrageous, typically it goes well for you. Also know that if you post your truck rate and one of the first thing they do is ask for your MC number, right? The way that I was trained, you look to see where that MC is located out of. So ours is Minnesota. So when they're dealing with any of the trucks with that MC number, if there's a load going to Minnesota, they consider it a backhaul, and they'll automatically try to pay me less because they think I'm going to go home. But I'm a driver. So when I go home, which is actually to Minnesota, which is actually where the MC number is, and they try to give me a crappy amount because they consider it a backhaul, because let's admit, when we're truckers and we're going home, we'd rather be paid something to cover our fuel to go home than nothing, right? So we're willing to usually accept lower paying loads. However, what I've done since going to that broker training is, when they try to give me a low paying load back home, I'll be like, I'll say some ridiculous story like, yeah, I just swing through Minnesota. My boss wants to see me, but God, I really love living in Florida. Because then it's not a backhaul to me. You know, so then they know that I'm not as willing to take a lower amount. because I don't live there. So there's ways that you can do it. But I would say always be very pleasant. No matter what you have going on, what just happened in the truck, if you spilled hot coffee on your pants, if that broker answers the phone, that's when you turn on that sweetness. You'll get more with honey. You'll get more with honey. I moved to aircraft engine from Charleston to it must have been. Oh, wow. That's pretty cool. Somebody said the other day, Chris is so busy at the shop. You know, he can't find laborers either. Parts are crazy. I mean, like, he's got so many cars backed up, like insurance jobs, where the parts aren't available, or the parts are so astronomical right now for pricing. It's, you know, the insurance agents or the adjusters are like, when they get a call back from them, they're like, please don't tell me it's the parts. You know what I mean? So, yeah, Chris is super busy, and I think they're going to get into car wrapping. So he doesn't do that today, but yeah, I think they may venture into that, which would be kind of cool. Never mention you are headed there anyway. Well, yeah, but if I'm trying to go to Minnesota, they see when they look up your MC that you're based out of Minnesota. I mean, and especially if you go to the training that I went to, those are the trucks that you want. And I'm going to give it away. So when you're acting as a broker or an agent, right? And I have a load that is in the state where you're at and it's going into Minnesota. If you're based in Minnesota, I can get you to take far less money, if you don't know this, to get you home, because you're like, okay, well, at least I'm getting paid to go home. And my revenue or take on that load went up like crazy, because I'm going to take the difference. And usually if you can get a shipper that's direct with you, you tell them that you specifically look for backhaul trucks, so you can guarantee them the lowest rate. That's a little insider tip. Straight from me to you. Okay? Thanks, Devin. I've learned a lot out here. I've made my fair share of mistakes, Lord knows, but I also teach by those too, because I've always been very transparent with my stupid mistakes. Because my hope is that you learn from them and don't repeat what I did. Oh my gosh, people. I'm done unloading. I still have a red light, but I still got time. It's only 11:10 here, so. But, yeah, it's just been, you know, right now I'm trying to learn NFTs. I'm driving myself bananas. So, but I'm trying. Guys, I keep touching the screen because my comments aren't appearing like they should. They would know for sure you live there by your accent. Hey. I have worked many years, fat boy, at trying to cover up my accent. There are times where, yes, it does shine through, but there are also times where I can have you guessing. Like, I think it's somewhere in the Midwest, but I'm not quite sure. If you talk to one of my sisters, she's like straight up the Aflac duck. Oh God, Shannon, that seems to move. That for me, the needle moves. I do sort of watch the trends with rates between like city to city and lanes. And I have found, if I can, and if I have the time, My best route back to Minnesota is like if I'm southeast Florida, something like that, go over to Arkansas, go from Arkansas to Illinois, and Illinois into Minnesota. It doesn't matter if it's further Illinois, I'll ask for a little bit more. But any load like Geneva, Illinois, that comes up to like Minneapolis, whatever, if they want to come at me for 1,400, I'm like, that's a 2-bill load, no matter what for me. That's what I get, $2,000. And if it's a straight shot, awesome. So that's what I'll do. I'll go from the southeast over to Arkansas, up to Illinois, and then from Illinois to Minnesota, because I know that last little bump is $2,000 easily. Easily $2,000. I haven't been going really, I haven't really been going like west of 35. So like, you know, Wyoming that way, Colorado, like Colorado west, Arizona west. I just, you know, I just don't do those routes. Well, we were wondering where you went, Dixie. Ever watch Cash is King on YouTube? He is leased on a small carrier in Minnesota, does out and back mostly, but has numbers on the glass too. I wonder if I met him. I wonder if I met him at a washout in Lakeville, Minnesota. This was a year ago, maybe. I'll check him out. You know, I had a pretty good gig. It ran from St. Michael, Minnesota to Ohio. And there was, you know, like 3 to 4 drops. It was a 1.5-day load. And that was typically like $58,000 to $6,000 for a 1.5 days. And then they would do a backhaul for me. And that would be, I mean, typically from Minnesota to Ohio and back, 4 days, it was like $8,000-9,000. Now it's kind of a pain in the ass to run that in the winter because you run into that Ohio Valley and you never know what you're going to get with the snow effect. You know, the lake effect snow and all of that. Like when I was coming down through Michigan, that's exactly what I hit, and it was icy and miserable. But I would like, I am on the boards all day. I'm even on the boards when I'm under a load and I have my next load, because I want to know what I want to keep a pulse on the industry. And I also know that there are brokers that are just so cheap. I mean, they almost hang up with you. Like, I mean, they're so big that they don't need your bullshit, right? Like, TQL does not play around. If you don't like their rate, typically, even if they come up a couple hundred, they don't care. They're not, They'll be like, okay, thanks, bye. And you're like, oh, okay. So you'll get to know them too. And then, there's a couple like companies that I will no longer work with because they were just shitty. Not shippers or receivers, I'm talking about like the brokers. The best tip I've learned is do not use open source, because your shit can be stolen from you. Yeah. That's what I've learned. They sure are. You're right about that, Shannon. All right, be safe out there, Dixie. This is, you guys, I'm trying to read comments again. Yes, learn from my air, Ricky. You're absolutely correct. I did have that. And then there were several times where I got beat up for it. They're like, boy, you like make a lot of errors. I'm like, yeah, because I'm learning. That's the whole concept. And I want you to learn from my error, because typically I explain what I did wrong and then the option I took to fix it, right? It's so funny, you guys. I think a lot of times because I I speak with confidence or walk with confidence, people are like, yeah, but what have you done in the industry? I'm like, I just got out of rookie stage. Leave me the hell alone. You know what I mean? Like, I became a trucker in 2017. Okay, you've been in it for 20 years. Lay out your resume for me. Because I can back up my 20-year corporate record against your trucking record. We'll see where we're at with each other. But allow me to build some time up, for criminy sakes. I mean, so far so good. I think, you know, now I'm kind of excited. I'm on the Road Pro Driver Council, and I'm a board member of Real Women in Trucking. So, I mean, I enjoy those things, right? But people want to compete with me. Like, I don't understand it. I'm competing with myself. You're right. I'm not ashamed to show mine. And I'm also not ashamed to talk about when my truck breaks down. Because, you know, people are like, nobody talks about when their truck breaks down. I'm like, yeah, people do. And for those who aren't, I don't know. That's their decision. But I can't show you all the good and never the bad. Like, that is completely warped. And that's why people say that YouTubers don't represent the full picture. They only show you like the cars that they're driving or the shoes that they bought, or, you know, whatever it is, whatever. But yeah, in between then, there's bad days, there's weather days, there's traffic days, there's crash days, there's breakdown days, there's I don't want to get up and do this kind of bullshit day. Because I still have not gotten away from swearing. I'm sorry. Your buddy at TQL who will look up loads for me to tell me when they have it. So. Oh, that's priceless right there. That's where, if you get in a good buddy system with a broker, that's what I had out of Minnesota for that Ohio load. And then I had a couple times where I couldn't do it, and the guys that I work with, they said, hey, can we take that load? I'm like, yeah, but just for that week. You can't steal it from me, right? Because it was so good. Well, then a couple things, I guess, happened while they had the loads. They had some refusals because they didn't have like a seal on the trailer, and it wasn't locked, and it was food grade, and, you know, they got turned away at a receiver, and I don't know. So I haven't done a lot of loads with that broker. Oh, arthritis days. Yeah, you're telling me. You're telling me. I tell it all about my life in trucking. I tell it even how to use my ELD as my hotspot. How do you do that? Because when I click on my Wi-Fi, my ELD comes up, right? I don't know my password. And I have Keep It Truckin'. Do you know? Can you give me that tip? I wonder if you have the same one. You may, because you're owner op, so I don't know that you went full-fledged like Qualcomm, because that's a big investment. It's so good to be back on here, you guys. I was a little trepidatious, you know, about coming back, because I never know how it's going to be received. And it has been a long time since I've really had anything meaningful to say or added any, you know, anything with context. For content, and, but I get emails all the time like, hey, I followed you up until, where happened? Where'd you go? And I did that too, right? I followed people. I got invested in their lives, and then poof, they were gone. And I said, I'm never going to do that. Well, guess what? Learn from my error. Don't do that. I did it. People get mad. They want to know where you're at. They care about you. You have to go into your ELD settings. Yes, I've Qualcomm. Based ELD unknown. See it all. Huh. Do you pay extra for that to be your hotspot? Do you know? Like, do you pay extra through your Qualcomm? Like, as a option? I'm reading your comments. So tell me what's been going on with you guys. I haven't heard anybody say they're going to Matt's, so that's been like a you know, Bueller situation. Mum's the word. Crickets, whatever you want to call it. So I don't believe any of you are. But I will be there Wednesday to Sunday. I fly in Wednesday and I fly out Sunday. And meeting up with a couple trucker ladies. And I know a few more that will be there. And I know a truck show model, if that's the correct term, that will be there. 8 new drive tires. Okay, so I just had to replace a trailer tire when I was out on the road. And I ran into a guy who used to work at a tire shop, and he was getting his own tires replaced, right? He said the tires that he now puts on his truck, and he's been out here a long time. He now puts on his truck lasts him anywhere between 500 and 750,000 miles. Yeah. Yep, you heard that right. And I have it on a post-it note at home, but they're Bridgestone. And I don't know what the costs are because I didn't ask him. I'm assuming they're pretty expensive. But if you're getting that kind of miles, probably hella worth it, right? I would also say, depends on where you run. You know, like you can, do I have something to write with? Hang on. Let me draw my tire. I'm not an artist, so, you know, I always say, like, don't come for me, you know? This is going to be really bad. I'm trying to draw them, guys. Like, what is it? There's a work of art coming. So, the cheaper type of tires are these, right? Where the tread's just, right? These are really difficult to drive in snow, sleet, all of that. So, depending on where you drive, if you're going to drive in inclement weather like that, you want the kind of where the treads go multi-directional, because when your tire goes around, the snow water is, again, lack of vocabulary, but you know, pushed out. Where this stupid thing, I'm just saying, Nancy, with that drawing, you would follow your Okay. Well, I'm going to get around 400,000 out of these Michelins. What kind do you have? Road X. Do you like those? Who are those by? Is Road X a brand? I'm not familiar with that. Matt's is in Louisville, Kentucky, March 24th, 25th, 26th. like Thursday, Friday, Saturday. I'm VIP through Road Pro, and so VIP morning at the expo centers, there's something, and then we have a dinner that night. So I don't know if if actual Matt's is Friday and Saturday, or if it's really Thursday, Friday, Saturday for the general public. You can go, and I guess you can park your truck at the stadium, and they bring in food, so they'll feed you like breakfast and dinner at the stadium. You're on your own for lunch. You can rent golf carts to get around because the stadium's not that far from the expo center, I'm guessing. And they bring in portable showers and portable, like the nice portable bathrooms. I don't think they're the porta potties. I think they're the nice flushable ones. I have Energy XD, came from factory on my Cascadia. Do you run super singles? Ten count, I believe so. I've never seen steers with the multi-directional. I might be wrong, but I don't think I've ever seen them. Devin, been at Prime since January 2020. After knowledge and research, I'm going to lease purchase a truck from Wasatch Leasing and take it to F2F Transport and work off the load board. Have you contacted Wasatch Leasing? I know one or two people that tried to lease through them, and they never answered their phone. They had a lot of trouble getting in contact with them. So I don't know if you're in an area where you can drive there. But yeah, they couldn't get a hold of them on the phone. But good for you. You had a plan. A lot of people that leave Prime go to Landstar. That was my plan initially. And then things just work out the way they do, right? And I'm pretty happy that I went with someone local to me. Those guys have been really, really good to me. That family's been really good. So, if you're ever in Charlotte, North Carolina, need a breakdown guy, I have a number for very easy, cheap. Oh, that's good to know. That is really good to know. It's, as we all know, it's tough to find a good mechanic on the road that's knows what they're doing. That's, fairly priced, decent. Right before Christmas, my clutch went out in Paducah, Kentucky. And I was at a nice small town mechanic, but the woman that owns it, she got the clutch in, and she said, well, you have to have a brand new flywheel or they won't warranty your clutch. The flywheel was $1,800. I said, no, the new clutch will last me another 8 years, and if I won't be driving this truck in another 8 years, so we're good. Resurface my current flywheel and get me the heck out of here. I missed Christmas because of that, because I still had to go down to Florida to deliver a load. And a lot of people on TikTok said, call your dispatcher. Who? Nope, tell your company you're dropping the load. Who? No, when you're an owner op, no, I take my word seriously. Like, if I say I'm going to take a load and I'm going to deliver it, just because I have a breakdown and it's a holiday, I'm not dropping that load just for me. I'm just not that way. I'm just not. So we just celebrated a week later when I got home. Do you write off miles or per diem? So per diem. Remember Nancy on Zello, and you have my number. I'm never on Zello anymore. But are you getting responses via email from them? Because that's at least encouraging. A lot of the places that say lease, it's really hard to get a hold of them over the phone. Oh, okay, you got duals. So, let's see. What else trucking related is there to talk about? I guess for truck shows, I'm going to Matt's, and then I'm going to go to, I'm hoping Kesson in Minnesota, and then the Jamboree, which is at Iowa 80 in July. Now, if I remember last year, it was really close to the 4th of July. And because I spend so much time at the campground now, it may be, I don't know, I don't want to give up a weekend at the campground because I have so much stinking fun. Shannon, did you answer the question about do you pay extra for Wi-Fi? Hey, Ken, how are you? Somebody asked me the other day how difficult, I don't know, maybe you know, they thought I was still with Prime, so they asked if I could train their nephew. I said, well, I'm not with Prime anymore. Then they asked how difficult it is to become a Prime or a trainer right now if she would return to Prime. She was with Prime, then she left. So she said, if I go back to Prime, how quickly can I become a trainer? And I said, I have no idea. I have Keep It Truckin' ELD. And I know a lot of things have changed with Prime. I've heard that, I don't know if this is most recent or like up to date, but they weren't doing lease purchase trucks because trucks were so hard to get in, and the cost of those were then becoming prohibitive to the actual lease purchase driver. I mean, your payments, right? So, oh, Dixie, you must have been out when I answered that. It's in Louisville, Kentucky, March 24th, 5th, and 6th, I believe. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, or Friday and Saturday. And I will be staying at the Hilton 3 blocks from the Expo Center. And then I'll be there Wednesday to Sunday. So, should be a good time. I'm looking forward to it. Get the password to go into your setting. Okay, I think, like when I first set it up to assign myself to the truck, I think I had to download the app on my other phone, so I'm going to have to look. Like the one that I'm YouTubing on right now, I think it's on that phone, where I know I should have a tablet, but this business phone is what has my ELD on it, the app. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's on that phone. But oh, okay. Yeah, I like Louisville. I like Kentucky. I think it's really pretty. You guys, seriously, I think I had 5 pallets. 5. And they've been done unloading for a long time, and I still have the red light. And I only have a mile to go to pick up at my next place, but it has to be pre-cooled to -10, which won't take too long because it's already freaking cold here. And I have my snap-on battery all ready to be put into my blower to get my trailer cleaned out pretty quick. Correct. No lease purchase at Prime right now, but I can tell you about ordering a new truck at end of lease. But I can't tell you. Okay. For your see, I took the TV off this truck. In my last truck, you know, where the TV mount is, it literally just tore the back of the TV off. The back of the TV was attached to the mount, and the TV was like, it's such rough roads out here. So, and that was where it was sort of like attached to the cabinet versus like against the window. So I don't know if it's better to put it over by the window so it's got more support. Oh my gosh, my feet are still cold. Oh. Yeah, so other than that, like, life is just good. It really is. Life is good. Oh, I bet you get good rates. Navy Federal's got a good reputation. I know, wool sucks, but I wasn't trying to like dress for the cold weather so I don't have to be up in the cold weather. I know. I know. Hey, Smitty, how are you? My TV was, I want to say it was a 32. Yeah, it was like obnoxiously in the way. But I had the kind of mount which was the complete swivel, so you could put it out if you're laying in bed, or I could, you know, if I was sitting up here, I could turn it and face me, or I could turn it and it would be partially against the wall, but some of it would stick out. But yeah, it broke the back of the TV off. I wish I could get a count at Navy Federal. I was never in the military. I love being my owner, dispatcher, own everything. Nobody messing with me, right? I'm not quite there. Oh yeah, my Ugg boots are in the back, up in the cupboard. Yeah. And I have a pair of short North Face. I should put those on. Just till I get out of here a little bit. Yeah, it's been a while since I've been on here. Yeah, but for flatbed, you guys, aren't you susceptible to like running like essentially less loads because you can't deliver or pick up on the weekends, right? You only do typically Monday through Friday when businesses are open and that sort of thing. Yeah, it's not that I can't do it. It's not that I can't do it. What's holding me back? What is holding me back from getting my own authority? I mean, from not from getting it, but from going with it. What's holding me back? That's a good question. I'm asking myself that question. What's holding me back? Because I asked, you know, I've asked the brokers that I've worked with, I said, hey, if I got my own authority, how long would I have to wait before you would work with me? And they're all like, well, it's not like you're like Nancy off the street, like you're Nancy. And I go, okay. And he goes, yeah, as soon as we get you in the system, you're good because we know how you run. So that makes me feel good that they trust me and they know me. So at least I'd have, you know, a couple options where I wouldn't have to, you know, sit and wait for it to get to 6 months or whatever. So that, you know, they start working with you more and more. But I don't know what's holding me back, honestly. Maybe it's the fact that I want a trailer and I don't want to rent one. I don't know. I don't know why I'm not. I don't know. I'm going to have to think about that. I haven't thought about it in a while. I need to seriously consider that. I mean, it would be ideal if I'm going to live in Mexico next January and February. I wouldn't be putting any other business sort of, you know, like when the company that I'm with now starts to rely on my income, right? So they could get the 25%. If I'm not working for 2 months, they're going to take a hit from that, you know? Yeah, Devin, I mean, oh, it's so hard to get your hands on things right now. Like, what they want for trailers is just unbelievable. Like this guy that I met, now granted, he's out of New York, and he is Armenian, and he deals with the Russians there. So, right, so this, I'm setting the stage for you. He said that anything starting at the year of 2000 for, at least for reefer trailers, based on the year, you shouldn't pay more than $1,000 a year. So what I mean by that is, if it's a 2011, you shouldn't pay more than $11,000 for it. If it's a 2015, you shouldn't pay more than $15,000 for it. So, right, starting at 2000, every year's it's $1,000. So, but right now you see 2011 trailers and they want 40 grand for them. They want 26 grand for them. Like, what? So, I don't know. It's just so, I don't know if it's going to get better or if it's going to, you know, like the prices will continue to come, or the prices will come down again and inventory will be available, or if it's just going to continue like this or potentially get worse. I almost want to say it's going to get worse. Yeah. But I don't know. I'm gonna really have to think about that. Why I haven't. Now that bothers me. I'm gonna have to put pen to paper and figure it out. Why, Nancy? Why? I know, 10 count. I know. You're right, Devin. I'm totally with you guys. Totally with you guys. Because, okay, so in my mind, I've dreamt that anyway, being under my own authority with my own truck and trailer, okay, and then having other drivers, okay, that's getting there. Getting there is the thing. Dry van, I don't know. Dry van seems like not as good as a gig. You know, I've thought about other divisions, and you know, they're just straight up and they're like, right now reefer's paying the best money because you guys literally have to drive all hours of the night potentially. You deliver and pick up at all hours of the day. You know, you typically have some tight schedules. So they pay you more for it. So I think the only way I'd get into dry vans is if I had a supply of dry vans that I would rent out. I don't think that I would pull dry van. I mean, I can pull dry van with a reefer, right? That's sort of the nice thing about having a reefer. But there's drawbacks to having the reefer too, right? There's that whole engine maintenance, EPA, all of that. Trailer affordability prices may get worse in the short term, but eventually when the freight market collapses, the trailer prices will collapse as well. So freight market collapse, say more about that. Are you relating that to the convoy in the US? Or what? Can you tell me more about that? Call Pedigree to see what they're asking. I've called Pedigree in the past. So in what year is this? 22, 21. In late 2020. Wait, late 2020. Why does that seem so far away? I was still with Prime. So I called Pedigree to see what they had for trucks, right? Because my lease was going to be up in February of 2021. So 3 months away from that time frame. And then they said, well, are you doing a lease purchase through Prime? Because then we do things a little differently. I said, no. And even at that time, to buy my 19 Cascadia, it was being turned in with like 445,000 miles on it. To buy that truck would have been 109 grand after I had been paying on it for 3.5 years. So, yeah, no. I would rather work a little harder and pay for another truck with cash. Maybe do some financing. I don't want a $275,000 truck and those payments. Like, that truck, nope. I'd rather have a vacation once a month. I'd rather have a seaside castle in Mexico. I'd rather travel to France. I do not want a $275,000 price tag on a truck that is not worth that. Anyway, did you answer about the freight? Dio, where'd you go? Are you still in here? Are you typing? Where are you at? I kind of want to hear your opinion on what you said. What you guys see this? Do you guys think that the freight market's going to collapse? I don't know what you mean by that. I think the rates that we're experiencing now, there's some deviation, but I think we'll continue to see good rates through 22. My God, what time is it? Where's my phone? 10 to 12. Come on, people. What's taking so long? What's taking so long? You guys, I didn't even realize. Oh, thanks, Average Bear. Take care. I didn't even realize. I don't listen to the news anymore. I absolutely refuse to. And I used to be a news junkie, so that's... Whew. But, and I don't have my radio on anymore when I'm driving. I just don't. I listen to podcasts, listen to audiobooks, stuff like that. I didn't even know the Olympics was happening. But my sister said she watched the first few nights of it, and she said the news, or the broadcasters, the commentators, they were putting like this dark cloud over the Olympics. All they did was talk about all of the problems with COVID. Well, we already know that. Like, can you just let that go for, what's the length of the Olympics? 8 days, 10 days? Just talk about the athletes and their incredible you know, physical prowess and it's just, nobody needs to hear about COVID at the Olympics. I mean, for real, right? Am I wrong? I think I'm right. Oh, I think Dio left us. He left us with such a cliffhanger too. Dang. Dang, Dio. Woo. All right, you guys, I got a green light, which means I got some work to do. So I got to hop out, close everything up, you know, and then get to my next pickup. So thank you for checking in. Thank you for being here. Thank you for the conversation. Thank you. If you're at Matt's, I'll see you there. Otherwise, I'm going to try to do this once a week. Don't hold me to it right now. I'm just getting back into it. I'm pretty... Oh, there you are. I'm pretty active on TikTok and active on Instagram, you know, posting pictures or whatever. But, you know, I'm trying to find my way back to YouTube. Let me see what Dio said. I'm just saying freight rates are at all-time high since May. I look for rates to be good for the next year. Yeah, I think they'll be strong through the end of this year. But once all these teenagers start driving, like, so many people are trying to get into this game right now. So, I mean, there's enough money to go around, but because there's enough money to go around and because there might be more trucks out there, we will suffer at lower rates because someone's always going to take that rate, right? You may not. The next guy will. So, all right, they're coming for me, guys. So, thanks again. Be safe out there. Stay healthy. And like I say, let's be kind. Let's be human. Let's do better. Okay? All right. Bye, guys.